Hi, I'm Gianna, and this is the Overthinking Out Loud podcast. I, in all honesty, don't want to do this right now. I am annoyed because what happened was I filmed an entire episode of this about 2 days ago, and it was a really good episode. I was really proud of it, and I felt really good about making it the first episode. And then the microphone died in the middle of it, and I didn't realize until after filming the entire 57-minute episode. So that was unfortunate. But we're back. I'm like pre-recording these so I can listen back to them and see if they're any good, and if they're not, we're gonna scrap this whole idea. But okay, that sounds so bad. But I've wanted to start a podcast for forever, and I just never got around to it because I was nervous. Because here's the thing: when I was a kid, I loved YouTube, and I would make YouTube videos when I was like 12. Okay, and I did like makeup on my brother. I did a back to school haul for when I started 6th grade. I did like a Christmas haul. Well, I did like a bunch of other videos. They have since now been privated, removed. They're gone. But I have fun doing it. It was a lot of fun. I'm a content creator and influencer at heart. What can I say? Just kidding. Here's the thing. I have wanted to do this for a long time, and I'm happy to be doing it, but I don't want to be super famous. Okay? I want to be, hear me out. I want to be just famous enough to go onto Brittany Broski's Royal Court, Hot Ones, and uh what's the other one? I can't remember. The Last Meals for Mythical Kitchen. And once I've completed those, I'm gonna fall off the face of the earth. Okay, I'm gonna fall off the internet. I don't know if Hot Ones will get me up there. Hot Ones is more celebrities and not really 20-year-old podcast girls. But a girl can dream. You'll notice too that in the suggested, I put Brittany Broski's podcast and Emma Chamberlain's podcast because those are my heroes. I love them. They, I Okay, hold on. We need to talk about how much I love Brittany Broski for a second. I watch every single one of her podcasts. I've been watching her on YouTube for forever, and I love Royal Court. I am just obsessed with her in not a parasocial fan way. Let's get the record straight. I'm obsessed with her in a way that I want to be her. Okay? That sounds so bad, but I think she's so funny, and I'm amazed. I love watching her, and I love she she literally was like an insurance like she worked for an insurance company, and then one day or like when the kombucha thing came out, she was working at the bank, wasn't she? If I remember right. I'm gonna look like a fake fan if I got that wrong, but I just love her, and I love her story. Okay, sue me. Emma Chamberlain, I've been watching for forever online since I was 12 and made my own YouTube videos. When she started vlogging, I was like, okay, so I want that to be me. Like, I want to do that. Or when like the Visco girl thing was popular, and she would like the Doc Martens with the scrunchie in her hair and have like an iced coffee. I was like, me at 13, 14 years old, I was like, God, she's perfect. I need to be that. That's the goal. I loved her. I still do. I still think she's so talented, and like she's like a fashion icon now. I think some people might disagree, but I think she's perfect and amazing. I love seeing I love seeing a like regular person become famous. Maybe that's why I love Heated Rivalry so much. Hey, sorry, I know this is like everyone's talking about Heated Rivalry, but like Connor Story and Hudson Williams, I'm obsessed with them. I didn't even watch Heated Rivalry because of people talking. I mean, I did watch it because people were talking about it, but I just kept seeing clips of interviews of those two, and I was like, okay, well, they're hilarious, and I need to see what they did. So that's what really got me into the show, and I think the show is perfect. Before we get too carried away, I should introduce you guys to where we're at right now. I'm in college, and this is my dorm. This is my bed that I'm filming in because I want to be cozy, and also a dorm is very limited on space. In case you don't know. So this is where we're at. We have some of my idols on the wall. I don't have these fairy lights up, so it looks like a plain wall, but I have little lights, okay? Trust. We have Billie Eilish, we have Tyler the Creator, we have Hunter x Hunter. I am an anime nerd a little bit. I'm like a retired anime nerd. I dabble nowadays, but when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, it was like embarrassing. Like I wore Katsuki Bakugo shirts to school. So it was I'm not that I'm not that person anymore. Okay. She lives inside me. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'll see something, I'll see an edit, or I'll see a fan idea, and I'm like, wow, it like alerts something. It's like a sleeper agent. You know what I mean? Like you see like an edit from like your favorite show when you were a kid, and you're like, oh my God. That like it just woke something in me. Um, anyways, moving on. We have some pictures of my friends and stuff on the wall too. You guys probably can't even see because they're tiny. We have this little Minecraft uh, flower that my boyfriend made me. I love it. I was so glad I was able to put it on the wall here because I'm obsessed with it. We also have a picture of Johnny Depp. I know, hey, I know he's controversial. But I grew up with him. I love him. I think he's talented. I think he's so talented. When I was a kid, my grandma put on Edward Scissorhands for the first time to watch, and I was obsessed with it from the get go. I was like, I need more of this. This is beautiful. I was obsessed with that movie. I would watch it all the time. I was Edward Scissorhands too one year for Halloween. I think I was like 10. I don't know. I can't remember. Something like that. But yeah. So this is my little space. Oh, let me introduce you to my stuffed animals too. I, in all honesty, don't I don't like I sleep with them in the bed, but I don't cuddle with them the same way I do a different thing, and I'll show you in a minute. But starting off with Toothless, we have this stuffed animal that my boyfriend got me. I love Toothless. I love How to Train Your Dragon. I love dragons. I am obsessed with him. And I love pineapple. I don't eat pineapple as much anymore, but I was really into pineapple. I like strawberries, like fruits. So he scented, I guess at Build-A-Bear, or was this Build-A-Bear? I think so. Wherever he got this, he was able to put like a scent on it. Like you could put basically like a perfume or something on it, so it smells like pineapple, which is fun. Next, also from my boyfriend actually, is Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. This honestly, this is me nerding out for the first like 15 minutes of this show, being like, yeah, I like anime, I like dragons, I like Spider-Man. But yeah, I love Spider-Man. I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I know that's kind of controversial. Everyone goes Tobey Maguire. I think Tobey Maguire is a great Peter Parker. He's like awkward in the way that Peter Parker is. But Andrew Garfield like killed it as Spider-Man. Sue me for that opinion. That might like get like a dozen people to click off, but I don't care. Next we have Sally, a little squishmallow of Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love her. I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love all things Halloween and a little spooky. So when I saw her in high school, I had to buy her. Next, I don't have a name for this guy. He's kind of just existed. My friend Sam gave this to me for my birthday one year when we had a class together in high school. And I like him. And he's blue and he fits the vibe of the room. It's like a lot of blue and green in my room. And I like him. So we have him. And then, not a stuffed animal, but I sleep with this every night. It's just this pillow, but it has a pillowcase on it. But I won't show you the inside because the actual pillow, because it's kind of like busted up. But my friend, an old friend of mine, we were friends for like 11 years, and got into sewing, like made me a pillow, like a little mini one. And then she had like my name on it too. And then I changed my name. So she gave me a new one with like my new name written on it. It was so, so cute. And it's just like, I mean, it's this size. It just has a pillowcase on it because it's a little busted up. Because no offense to her, but a 10-year-old did sew it. So it's like a little loose at the edges. But I love this thing. I forgot this when I had come like back to my dorm after winter break because I obviously brought this with me. And I'm such a particular sleeper, right? So I have to sleep on my side. I hold my pillow, and then one arm is under my main pillow. And so sleeping without this, hey, Spider-Man and Sally kind of like took over for a bit to be like my holding pillow. but it's not the same. I love these guys, but it's not the same. Like this, I have slept with this every night, and I have brought it with me to every vacation since I got it, and I'm obsessed with it. No longer friends with her, but um, I do love this pillow, and this pillow is gonna stay with me. I don't know what's gonna happen when this pillow like actually like meets the end of its life. You know how some people have like a blankie? I've never been to like a blankie, but this pillow is like my blankie. Okay. And then we did, yeah. I like the pillowcase too. My grandma found the pillowcase, I think, on Amazon or at some home goods store. I don't know. But I love this thing. I sleep with it every night. And then the blankets are just from home. I don't know where I got these things. To be honest with you. My family has so many blankets at home, and I just decided to take a few because they're not gonna miss them. There's one blanket that we have that's very like vintage. It's like the browns and the reds and like the like kind of like the traditional old people colors, if that makes sense. Like the dark, like darker muted tones. And it has a bunch of teddy bears all over it. And it's almost like it's not a quilt. It is like a blanket, kind of like this one, but it looks like a quilt where it's like a bunch of different squares of little teddy bears. So that's at home because it didn't fit the vibe. Sorry, it didn't fit the aesthetic we have going on in my dorm right now. So it had to be left at home. But love that blanket too. I'm a sucker for like being cozy. I love to bed rot and just exist in bed. In all honesty, I right now should probably be doing assignments for my classes because last minute, literally 4 hours before like the add drop date for classes had ended, I dropped a class and added a new one. So now I'm 2 weeks behind in that class. So, well, I'm not 2 weeks behind, technically. Um, I was able to do like some things. Things yesterday, I was so busy. And then I came back from all of my errands and all the things I had to do. And I was like, okay, I should look at the Canvas for the class that I just added. And there was like 4 assignments. And I was like, oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Got it. And this was at like 6 p.m. that I looked at this. So I did like one of the quizzes, I did a different assignment, and then I was like, okay, let's see what this other one is. Let's do tonight too. Let's get this done. It was an essay that you had to conduct an interview for. Okay, cool. Was able to do it. I figured my shit out, and I got it submitted by like 10:30 last night. But I was stressing. I was like shaking about that because I was already. Yesterday was already like a rough day. I was already a rough day, and then that on top of it, I was like, wow, this is. We're not getting into that, but I was able to complete it because I am an academic weapon. I can write a good essay, like a pretty decent essay, in a few hours. Not gonna lie. I love writing essays. This is why I'm an English education major, okay? In case you don't know, I'm an English education major. I want to be an English teacher, preferably high school, sophomore, junior year. And I love a good essay. What can I say? And thesaurus.com, underrated. Thesaurus.com is so underrated. Not sponsored. I don't even think thesaurus.com is going to sponsor anyone, let alone me. But I love that website. You have your Google Doc open in one tab, thesaurus.com opened in another tab, and then I always have to have like a citation website open in another because like I like to copy and paste a website and then put it into a citation website, whether it's MLA or APA, and they just do it for me because it saves me so much time. It saves me so much time and energy. I just I don't have time for that. Okay. I'm locked in on the content itself. I don't have time to be figuring out if a period goes after the date it was published or not. Okay. I had to learn how to do APA last semester because all throughout school it was like when I was in high school was MLA format. Um, so that's I know MLA like the back of my hand. And then last semester we had to learn APA, and I was like, okay, I can do this, and I did. This semester, all my classes are using MLA, and I'm like, okay. So hopefully I get to use more APA skills, which when I do teach high school, it is going to be MLA format that I have to teach, so I shouldn't get too ahead of myself, but I was so proud of myself. I was like, I learned APA. Yay, I feel so academic, and I feel so I learned how to do this. And then they're like, yeah, back to MLA. That thing you learned freshman year of high school, keep doing it, babe. I was like, okay, cool. But so nerdy of me to have a preference on what citation format is better. That's how you know I'm a real English major. I love, let's say, but yeah, I had to write about that. Uh, it was, I did it. Cracked open a Dr. Pepper, put on some jazz music, and locked in. Let me say, I love jazz or classical music when I'm studying. I've also gotten into bossa nova. I like bossa nova, but bossa nova, it has to be in like a different language because if I hear lyrics, I'm gonna get distracted. So it has to be just music, or it has to be like in Italian or French or something, a language I don't know. I am learning Spanish though. I really want to get better at Spanish. Um, Considering studying abroad, but that is expensive. So we'll see. Um, I have studied abroad though, and it's fun. In high school, very grateful for the experiences I got to have in high school because my high school was very well endowed, some might say. I don't know why that came to mind, but because that is only, I've only heard that term well endowed when someone has a big penis. So I don't know why I chose that terminology to speak about my high school having enough money to have people study abroad. I take back that term. Anyways, studying abroad. Our school worked with this website called Education First. Again, not sponsored, but I'm obsessed with them. I love them. They work with schools to, like I said, study abroad over like summertime or like winter break, depending on when school's out. And it is so fun. I did for my Spanish class, I went to Costa Rica and it was such a blast. I had it was my Spanish teacher, my mom was also a chaperone, and then it was me and four other kids. Like there was really like few people from my school, and I just I had a blast. And all of us grew so closely like knit because there were so few of us. And then there was one boy in our group, and when you're doing these tours, we had a group of 7, 8 people, whatever it was. And so the whole bus to do all the excursions and stuff like that, we were with other schools who had like kind of larger groups. Um, and the one boy in our school's group, he had some drama, some love drama with a girl from a different school. I think she's from like Chicago or like Atlanta or something like that. Um, Not from where we are. So that was the whole thing. But it was a 2-week trip, and so the 2 weeks on the trip they were like romantic, and then all of the girls he was like texting us for like to be wingmen, and we're like, hey Wyatt, hey, don't go after her, man. We were all trying to talk him out of it, and I don't ever know what happened with that. Um, but yeah, but it was a fun trip. We went to La Fortuna, and then we went to where else did we go? I don't remember the name of it, but we went to this really fancy resort, and it had a bunch of different kinds of pools that had different temperatures, and like the different temperatures or like the add-ins for the pools had different things they did for you. I don't know. I just like jumped from pool to pool, and they had like little like waterfalls, and it was all like inside. And then they had pools where you could like have a swim up bar, and it was really cool. We went on this trip. I think all of us were like 16, 17 years old, maybe 15 at the youngest. Maybe I think we were all 16. I don't know. But Costa Rica, there is no legal drinking age. I saw like 14-year-olds getting drinks at the bar. But it's like a school trip, so we weren't supposed to drink. So, but honestly, I don't think the teacher would have cared. He is a lively person. After It's so funny because after that trip, my mom and my teacher at the time were the only chaperones, and my mom kind of went because she's like, if you're going to Costa Rica, I'm going to Costa Rica. Like, I don't want to miss this opportunity because my mom, like, I don't know, she loves to travel too. And so they were the only chaperones, so they had like a lot of time together, I guess. Obviously my mom hung out with me a lot, but it was like a whatever, it was a they saw each other a lot, obviously. And my mom didn't like this teacher very much. She thinks he's a little weird. And of course, after this trip, she ran into him everywhere back at home, at the grocery store. She saw him, I think, like at like a party city. I don't know. But she would see him everywhere. And she was like, I saw your teacher again? And I had to turn around and run away because I was like, I don't want to talk to him because he'll talk for forever. He loves to chit chat. Um, but that was a really fun trip. It was so, and we got to have, Costa Rica is really well known for their coffee. And I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but the coffee there was delicious. It was so good. Same thing, I did another trip to Italy and Greece. Italy was the same thing. I don't drink coffee like that, especially hey, I can't speak. Especially um cappuccinos. That's not my thing here in the States, but in Costa Rica, oh my gosh. Again, English major, but I can't form a sentence. In Italy, it was so good. I was like, "Oh, this is life-changing." It was so good. Um so yeah, very grateful for those trips. Italy and Greece was kind of like not impulse because you have to plan and like budget for them. But I saw a sign one day, like at school, like posters, like we're going to Italy and Greece, and it was with some like history club, and I was like, I'm not in this club, but can I get in on this? So me and my brother went on that trip with my friend Emma. I think there's a few other people that I knew on that trip, but it was mainly me and my brother. And it was so, again, so much fun. We got to see the Colosseum, like explore Rome a little bit. We went to Orvieto. It was this beautiful little town. They had a beautiful church. I'm not religious, but these churches in Italy, oh my breath was taken away because it was like they have so much more history, and the art in those, uh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I have so many pictures of them, and I'm just like, I look back and I'm like, wow. And we went to the Vatican too. The Vatican is beautiful. It's so incredible. The art in there. There's a huge hallway of maps. I think it is called the map room, and it's just like all gold, and it's all of obviously like the maps of different journeys and different countries and all this. And I was like, like I could have stayed in that room and looked at everything for probably like 2 hours. But obviously, it's like you got to kind of keep walking, like the flow of traffic. I was just like so amazed. It's so beautiful there. I had such a good time. And they had really good like hanging out with my brother too, like getting to travel with him was a lot of fun. The food was really good. Obviously in Italy is really good. I have a picture of my brother when we went to Trevi Fountain, which was on my bucket list for the longest time, and I think back to that time all the time. I'm like, wow, I really did that. There's so many times where I think back, I'm like, wow, I really you just reflect sometimes and you're like, I did that, or I was there, or I got to see that. And it's just so like the nostalgia for that stuff is so awesome. But there is a restaurant like a few blocks away from Trevi Fountain that we went to for lunch, and it was so good. But I wanted to drink. There's a plane. On that note, last semester, very few planes. This semester, that's like the fifth plane this week. I'm confused. Anyways, back to me drinking. In Italy, again, the drinking age I think is like 18. Like the European countries and like Latin American countries, they're not super strict on their drinking age. Like I never got like ID. They don't really care. But it was like the first restaurant we went to, and Rylan, my brother, really was like looking at places with. See, I'm a freak when it comes to travel. He was looking at places like this place looks good, and I was like, that has burgers and fettuccine alfredo. That's not a real Italian place. That's for American tourists. We're not going there. We're not going there. And I was like, we're gonna go somewhere more authentic that does not have fettuccine alfredo on the menu because that is an American dish, not Italian. And my brother was getting so pissed with me. He's like, God, you can't fucking enjoy yourself. No, I can't. We have a strict setup here, a strict schedule. Okay. So we went to this other place that did not have fettuccine alfredo on the menu. And Rylan it was this lobster risotto. That thing, I had like 2 bites and it was so good. I forget what I ordered. I ordered some other pasta, but I was like, damn, I should have ordered that. I should have ordered that. I still think to this day, I'm like, wow, my mouth is watering right now because it was so good. But I have pictures, like it was on his plate was just a huge thing of like lobster, like obviously with the risotto. And I remember he was like, wait, can you get a picture of the lobster? So I have 2 pictures, they're still on my phone, of him holding the lobster and him in the background just like, and it's just so funny. I love that picture of him. It's so funny. Um, but because I wanted to try like the different drinks they have there, I got, what is it called? it's at the time I was like, oh, it's like a wine or it's something. What is it? Italy alcohol. What is the alcoholic drink? Because it was like I I ordered it for lunch and it was a I want to find out what it was. A grappa. It was a grappa and it is a um very potent, very potent. It's like a what Americans would compare it like to like kind of like a brandy, I guess. That's what I've heard is it's compared to that. It's more of like a sophisticated nighttime drink. And I had that at 11:30 in the morning in Italy. And I was like, after looking it up, I was like, oh, that kind of just made me look really bad. Very much like a tourist or an alcoholic. We'll never know. But it was strong. I was like, I took a few sips and I was like, oh my god. If I burped and a flame was nearby, I would have burned that whole place down. Like it was actually insane. It was so strong. I did not order that again. Also, we were there. I ordered an Aperol spritz at some restaurant. Mid. I don't like an Aperol spritz. It's yeah. Let me see what this is. A tangy bright drink made with limoncello, prosecco, and soda. Oh wait, I'm reading the wrong thing. That is a limoncello. Uh, Aperol, prosecco, soda water. It's like the bright orange drink. It is. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I liked a wine. I got a wine at some places that was good. I think of what else I ordered there. That was really it. I tried like a lot more coffee places, and with dinner sometimes I would get a drink, like an alcohol, like a wine or something. But I don't know. The drinks there are a little strong. At least the places I went to, I was like, oh my lord, this is a little much. But it was fun. Definitely had a good time. Trying to think of what else like good memories in Italy because it was like a lot of fun. I personally, so the trip for Italy and Greece was like I think it was 6 days in Italy, 5 days in Greece, if I remember right. Greece is beautiful, but I like Italy a lot more. Um, just for the history and the vibes, the food. I don't mind Mediterranean food, but I like Mediterranean food in moderation. Okay, when you're eating it for 5 days straight, some of the like I don't like olives. I'm not a fan of olives, and olives are on a lot of things in Greece. Um, oh my gosh, our last day in Italy, my my brother, he's 18. He's very built. He's like 5'9", and he did football and he was a lineman and then he was a center. So he's like jacked. Like he's a big guy. And he drinks so much milk. He loves to drink milk, especially dinner. Like even growing up when we were kids, we drank milk with dinner. That was just an expectation. So it always was. As I got older, I drank a little less milk. Okay. Well, I say that, but I have a half gallon of milk in my fridge right now, and I had a gallon, not a gallon, but a cup of milk this morning with my breakfast. But none like milk. My family are milk drinkers. My family, we are milk drinkers. And in European countries, hey, they don't drink milk. I don't know if you guys know this, but they don't drink milk. So at least the cities that we were in, and my brother was tweaking out our last day in Italy because all he wanted was a glass of milk with his dinner. Our tour guide, what was her name? Lucia. She was Grecian. What's Greece ethnicity? You just say they're Greek. Greek. Sorry, that took me so long to get there. She was Greek. And she heard him like talking about how much he wanted milk. She went to the grocery store across from the restaurant we were at and got him a thing of milk. She literally bought him. It was like like a full carton. I think it was like a half. What we Americans would call like maybe like a half gallon, maybe a little less than that. But and he was like so happy. I have never seen this guy so happy in my life. This she was the best tour guide. Loved her, and she got Rylan a thing of milk, and he literally in this restaurant in Italy looked like a fucking weirdo because he was drinking. I don't remember what kind of milk it was, but yeah. So there's also a picture of me and him cheersing. It's me with like white wine and him with his milk, and it was so funny. But he was so happy, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And then Greece, I Delphi was really cool. I really liked looking at the history there. We were in Athens for a little bit. Wasn't a lot. See, we went to like mainland Greece. It wasn't like the Mykonos area. Like when you guys look up Greece, and it's the white plaster kind of buildings like on the beach and everything like that. That is a very small portion of what Greece looks like. Um, but it was still fun. I had a good time. We weren't as there for as long as Italy, so we didn't get to experience as much. But it's still a really good time. I hated that. I hate flying, so this was like really hard for me. Costa Rica, I think it was like a 7 hour, 8 hour flight. And I can handle that. I was like, okay, it's fine. Was able to do that. I just hate flying over the ocean, so that had me stressed out for a while. But then I just closed the window and pretended like it wasn't happening. Um, but flying from we went flew somewhere on the East Coast. I can't remember what it was. Flew to the East Coast and then flew to um it was a I forget the name of the airport. It was an airport in the UK, and I hated that airport and I hated that flight. It was a 10-hour flight, like 10 and a half hour flight. And that airport, hold on, I'm going to look it up because I really don't remember. Is there, I think it was a British, uh, what am I looking for? British airport. That's, forgetting my words. British airport. What are, Heathrow Airport? Was that it? I don't remember. Birmingham? I don't know. I thought it was called like something British, something something airport. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out I don't know what I'm talking about. But that airport was so busy and there was so little food that was like available. It was all shopping. It was all like perfume stores, bag stores, like touristy kind of like t-shirt clothing stores. And I was like, I just want a sandwich, please. Like I just needed food. I was so hungry. And they only really had, it was like a cafe and it was had like pastries. I was like, I need like a Subway sandwich and a bag of chips. Like I was starving. So I was like crashing out about that. Um but it was just so busy. That airport was like so overstimulating, and then the flight after wasn't as bad, but I was just, it was crazy. I was so done. But flying is just scary to me. Like the first 5 minutes taking off and then the last 5 minutes landing. Like once you're in the air, it's not as bad unless there's turbulence. Unless there's turbulence. Actually, you know what? That brings up a funny video. Like literally flashed before my eyes. I don't like turbulence, but what the fuck is up with that girl on TikTok who was like, it was this Asian girl and she had her pinky up, and that's how you know she's scared. Do you know what I'm talking about? She was in like first class, I think. Yeah, because she had like a whole pod, and she was like, "This is what I eat on a flight," and then she was eating whatever, and then was it the airplane chefs like cooked something special for her or something because she asked, and we're like, okay. And then there's turbulence, and she started like a full grown adult woman is like screaming, and then she like has her hand like on the wall and her pinky's up, and she's like, ah, ah, and like looking at the camera, and then like her talking over the video, she's like, my pinky's up, so that's how you know I'm really scared. And that video is so funny to me. And now that it like kind of blew up and everyone's like making fun of her, there's comments now where it's like someone doing something like stupid or silly or something that's like unsettling, and I'll open the comments as like, my pinky's up, so you know I'm scared. And I love that. That's my new favorite comment. That's my new favorite joke. My new favorite meme is, my pinky's up, so you know I'm scared. I love that. I think it's so funny. I think the girl who did it is annoying, but I think now that it's been reclaimed by funny people, it's good. Um, but yeah, I don't like flying. I don't like flying. My brother though, my brother and my mom. My mom, when we were flying to Costa Rica, she was getting like really like sick to her stomach. So I was like helping her with that. And then my brother, it was so bad. I think I have a picture of him too, where it was the 10-hour flight, and he's like I said, a bigger guy, not like fat, but he's just built. And so in these small like airplane seats, he's like has his head down trying to sleep for a little bit, then he sits up, and his eyes were like bloodshot, And it literally looked like he was like withdrawing from drugs or something like that. He was so uncomfortable on this 10-hour flight and he just wanted to sleep. And he was just like crashing out. I don't know. He was going through it. I felt bad, but I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you. Um, we're more of a road trip family. We do a lot of road trips. I like driving. Driving's fun. Yesterday I had to drive for like 7 hours. I was like drive 2 hours to my house and then like an hour to this office I had to go to and then an hour back. And then I had to drive like 45 minutes is dramatic, but drive to this other like errand I had to do, drive back, and then drive 2 hours back to my dorm. So it was a lot yesterday. That was too much. But going on road trips where you have like stops to do along the way or little like restaurants and sightseeing things to do, that's always really fun. We live in the state of Arizona. So my mom is always taking us like for road trips when she has like a few days off work to different places in Arizona. Seen just about every fun thing in Arizona you can imagine, unless something new opens up. Seen just about it all. Um, Ironically though, I've only gone to the Grand Canyon like 2 times, I think, two, maybe 3 times. Last time I went to the Grand Canyon was when I was like in 4th grade. Hey, I'm 19 now. I'm gonna be 20 in a few weeks. So it's been a long time. I would go again, but I feel like once you've seen it, you've seen it. You know, like you remember we did like when I was in 4th grade, it was like a field trip. So we did like the train ride, and then we did like a walk around it kind of thing. I wouldn't hike in the Grand Canyon. I don't like hiking to begin with. Hiking inside the Grand Canyon is a little much for me. I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, Grand Canyon is like I liked Horseshoe Bend. Horseshoe Bend is also a good one that I think is a little underrated. What's the other one? There's a place in Arizona. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I forget the name of it. Arizona Windows wallpaper. Because there's a hike here that Windows wallpaper hike. Yeah. It's like you know those Antelope Canyon, that's what it's called. It's the red rock that had like erosion, like water kept flowing through it. So the rocks look very like swooshy, if that makes sense. Like the water, like it's like water flowed through it. So now the rocks are all swooshy. And it was like a Windows or like a Microsoft wallpaper, if I remember right. Been there. That place is really cool. It's a little claustrophobic, but it was a good time. I love that place. And it's really cold down there because it's like so many feet underground. And there it was really fun. Um while we were at Antelope Canyon, we had a group of like 7 French people in our tour group. Let me tell you, I hate French people. And I'm okay saying hate. If you come from a French background, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking someone who was born and raised in France, who is an adult in France. I haven't been to France and I really don't want to because I have never heard a good thing about France, about Paris, about the people of France. Cuz on this particular excursion, they like the rule was do not touch the rocks because just don't touch the rocks. Like the erosion and the rocks, like your hands have oils and stuff in them, and your hands are dirty as fuck. So when you touch the rocks, it can mess them up. And they just kept touching and touching and touching the rocks. And they had someone translating for them. Like it's not like it was a language barrier. Like they had someone translating everything the tour guide was saying. And then they were just like so loud. Like people say where Americans are loud. These French people in this tour group were the loudest people. They were echoing. Like the entire caves were shaking with how fucking loud they were being. Ridiculous. Um, and they like just had no awareness of their surroundings. I don't know. They were pissing everyone off in the tour group. And I've never heard a good thing about a French person in France. They're all like really rude. I don't know, because especially people learning the language in Spanish. At least I'm learning Spanish. I took Spanish for 3 years in high school. I'm taking it now in college. Not fluent by any means, but I can kind of get by. You know what I mean? I had friends in high school who spoke Spanish, and their parents would like introduce me as like the I could speak Spanish. I was like, no, no, I can't. I don't know why you're introducing me. Like I can speak Spanish. I can't do that. Like people I know now, like I have a friend who also is like fluent in Spanish, and she's like encouraged me to have conversations with her in Spanish to like better my practice. And people who are fluent in Spanish and see a person of my complexion, aka pale and white as fuck, trying to speak Spanish, they act like I just cured cancer. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing so good. Muy bien, muy bien. Estudiante muy bien." I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Like they get so happy that you're like trying to learn their language and that you're like making an attempt. Everything I've heard about French people, if you are a tourist, if you're an American and you so much as try to utter a French word in France to a French person, they're like, "I speak English." And they shut it down immediately. Again, never been. This is all from the grapevine that I've heard this from. But yeah, I've never heard a good thing about a French person. So hate to break it to anyone who's French and might be listening, but you guys are rude. I've heard you guys are rude. So maybe fix that. Um, so I want to travel more, even though I've been to those countries and done a lot of traveling. I have considered studying abroad, but like I said, it's expensive. And the study abroad program here at the school I go to is like they go to Costa Rica every summer, which is fine. But I've been to Costa Rica and a lot of the excursions that I've already done, this school is also offering. So I'm like, kind of already been there and I enjoyed it. But if I want to go on a study abroad program, I want to do something new. So we'll see. But again, it's also expensive. And I think, see, I wouldn't want to go for more than 4 weeks because like a whole semester is too much for me. That's a lot. And also, I have responsibilities and a job here. And I don't want to like take too much time to go and just study and spend money without making money. Same thing with like internships. Now, I'm an education major, so our quote unquote internships for like that would be considered internships for other degrees and other jobs are like built into our curriculum, like built into our degree plan. So like for example, the semester before you student teach, you're like a TA for different schools. So secondary is specifically middle school and high school, so older kids. So you do I think it's 8 weeks with a middle school teacher and you're like her TA or their TA, and then 8 weeks with the high school teacher and you're their TA. Um and it's like built in, it's like a class kind of that you have to take. It's required, it's not an option. And then obviously a lot of people who know an education major know that your last semester you just do student teaching. So you do it's like a full semester, I think. Maybe not a full semester. 12 weeks, I think it's 12 weeks. I'm not sure. Of student teaching. So you start off kind of like a TA and then as the weeks progress, they ask you to kind of take over the classroom and start teaching to get you like the hands-on experience. So that's what like our like my degrees quote unquote internships are, I guess. Not paid though. Student teaching is not paid. Some school districts do pay, but it's not enough to like pay rent by any means. Thankfully, I have a very supportive family, and they're going to let me live at home while I student teach. But it's crazy because you're working, like you're there every day, and you are following the hours of a teacher, like your teacher that you're assigned to, and you don't get paid for it. So I think that's insane. I think any sort of hands-on quote unquote job experience or internship or student teaching, I think it should be paid because you're working. Why are we letting people work for free? I don't understand that by any means. Um, but I don't know. I've looked at some internships that are more arts kind of themed because my college is called the College of Arts and Letters because English is like literature, poetry, like books and stuff like that. So they've had some internships come up, but nothing that has worked for me. There was one internship in Los Angeles that came up for some like music and TV and like gaming thing, and it was paid, but it just didn't work with my schedule. Unfortunately, I had other things planned during the same time that you're supposed to do it. But I would love to do something like that. I think that's also fun doing a paid internship um, over summer. It's just having to like find one that is compatible with what I want to do. But I don't know. We'll see. Also, I'm getting a little freaked out because totally like 180 switching the subject. Um, so I need you to hear me out. I have little crystals Okay. I have obsidian. Uh, they're literally right there. I forget I know there's an obsidian, opal, and then there's a green one. I can't remember what the green one is called. But I have little crystal sticks, okay? For protection, for anxiety, for like a lot of different things. Like each one has like 4 things that they help with. And I also have, I think it's called a bat nut. Hey, don't be weird. I went to this, let me look up before I start talking about this. Bat nut dried. Yeah. Is this what is, because I swear it's a bat nut. Me. Yes. Okay. That is what I have. It's called a bat nut and it's like dried. And I got it from this like witchy kind of like store. Um, and like I'm just gonna describe it to you. Uh, they're called water caltrops, commonly known as bat nuts, devil pods, or horn nuts. Are aquatic seeds that, when dried, form a hard black wood-like shell resembling a flying bat or a buffalo head. These nuts are native to Asia, harvested in late summer, early autumn, and are prized for their starchy, creamy texture, taste similar to chestnut or sweet potato. Okay, well, I didn't eat mine. Mine is on display. I maybe other people eat them. The woman told me, she was like, put this on display in your room and it'll protect you from any evil energies. And I was like, okay, period, we'll do. The other day, I was in a rush to do something and I kind of knocked it off the shelf it was on and forgot about it. The day after I did that, I had pulled up my phone, started recording, was going to do a little like test for my microphone that I got for this, and my phone started recording and I didn't even touch it. Like I propped it up like this to see how this would look and whatever, and turned my back and was doing something else. I can't remember. And so when I saw the video, I was in my camera roll. I was like, oh, maybe I just like pressed accidentally, like touched it when I was putting it up, press record, and then walked away. Nope. The uncut video was started with my back completely turned. Like I'm in frame, but my back is completely turned. So it's like there's no way I pressed record. So I was like, okay, that's weird. Um, Freaky, don't like that. And then yesterday, it was like 2 days after the phone thing. I have my watch that I wear all the time, and I don't wear it when I'm sleeping now. Like I wear it all the time, but I don't wear it when I'm sleeping. And I have it on my desk. My desk is behind my camera right now. And I woke up at like 5 to start getting ready, and I went to the bathroom, got my clothes, like picked out my outfit, brushed my hair, like was literally on the other side of the room. Like my bathroom is like over there, my closet is over there, and my desk is behind the camera. And my stopwatch on my watch had started going up, like counting up. I came back to turn it on, put it on, and the stopwatch had started 20 minutes ago. And I was like, I didn't touch this watch all morning, but 20 minutes ago, something happened. A button was pushed to turn it on and start counting up. And I was like, that is really weird because I was in the bathroom at that time and I don't like that. So, found out, like, remembered that my bat nut fell and it was on the ground and it was not on the shelf. So I was like, fuck, my bat nut either broke and like all the demons are coming for me, or my bat nut is no longer protecting me. Okay. I don't want to call it a devil pod or a horn nut. I like bat nuts because I think that is cool. But yeah, so I put it back up on the shelf. And like my room didn't feel like negative. It didn't feel like evil in any way, you know what I mean? Because I love ghosty things. I love spiritual things. I've been to Jerome multiple times. I've stayed at the Jerome Grand Hotel multiple times. I have like gone on ghost hunting trips. Like I'm into this stuff. So I'm not gonna mess around with it and take any chances. So I was like, I'm gonna put my bat nut back on my shelf. And my family, we sage our house every once in a while. Like when things start going wrong or things get shady or we feel a negative vibe, sage the house. Get whatever it is and get it out of here. So my mom had a bundle of sage that she gave me, and she's like, burn this in your room, leave the windows open, turn the fan on, everything will leave the space, and then, dispose of it properly afterwards. I was like, yes, mom. So that's what I did this morning while I was doing my laundry. I saged my room. I was so worried the fire alarm was going to go off. I was so worried about it, but thankfully it didn't. I burned like the ends of the bundle a little bit, and it's a small room, so you don't need like the full. You don't really need the full bundle. But I like did around the door. I did over my bed. I did over the other bed. I did around my closet. I did over my desk. So I was like, I'm not about to mess with any of what's happening right now. So hopefully, that clears up whatever was in here, the bad juju that was messing with my phone and my watch. Because like ghosty things, like they mess with your technology. They do. My mom stayed at a haunted hotel once with like a friend of hers, and my mom likes to prop up her computer and like record while we're gone or record while we're sleeping to see if anything like happens on the camera. This one time, me and my brother weren't there. We usually go all together, like the three of us. But she was with a friend, started recording on her phone, I mean on her computer, and I'm not even shitting you. I saw the video with my own eyes myself. There, it's her and her friend sleeping in the bed, and like the angle is like on the end table next to the bed, so you can see kind of into the hallway that leads to the bathroom and the door. I'm not even shitting you. There was a like black shadow, like a person. Like it literally looked like, you know, like the empty profile picture where it's like the shoulders and the head. It was that. It was a black shadow of that. And then the computer turned off. And my mom's computer didn't work after that. Like literally she couldn't turn it on. She like pulled it up for like a period of time to show us the video and then it just shut off. Like she literally couldn't, it whatever. I don't know exactly what happened because I was scared, and after she's like, my computer's no longer working, after I caught a video of a ghost standing over us in the hallway, I was like, yeah, I'm tapping out. So like, hey, I can't not believe in spirits when shit like that has happened. Okay, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Or like spirit boxes. I have one. I have one. Got one for Christmas one year. And you know, you go through and you talk to them, you know. I want to do that here while I'm in college because there's like 3 different cemeteries actually by campus, which is kind of weird, but we have those. And then one of our dorm rooms is haunted. A girl, I think in the 40s. Let me look it up. It was the 40s or the 20s. She killed herself. Haunting. Hold on. We'll wrap up after this, but I want to learn more about this haunting. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it was the 1918 is the first women's dormitory built in the Gothic revivalist style architecture. Okay, that's fun. Um, I don't want to read too much because I don't really dox myself and like tell you guys where I'm at on campus or whatever. Um, what is it? Oh, okay, in the 50s, a student named Kathy was living in blank hall. It was near Christmas, and she was expecting her parents to send her home for holiday break. Right before the semester ended, Kathy received a phone call. Her family had gone bankrupt. The family business had fallen apart, and they were riddled with debt. Her parents couldn't afford a way for Kathy to get back home. She'd be spending the holidays alone in the hall. If it wasn't, if that wasn't enough, Kathy's boyfriend dumped her for another woman. Oh hell no. Mm-mm. She thought he would propose to her during the holidays, but he had other plans. Kathy was devastated. In a few short days, her life had fallen apart. She decided it was time to end it all. While wearing her favorite blue nightgown, Kathy went up the staircase toward the building's attic, carrying a rope. She tied it to a water pipe and stuck her head through the noose. Maintenance found her body 2 days later. What the fuck? What? A month later, a stillborn baby was found in the basement. Though there is no official connection to Kathy's death, some say that the baby was actually Kathy's child. This would explain why her boyfriend left her, assuming he knew she was pregnant. What? What? Students claim to see her ghost all over the building, though she's most often spotted on the staircase leading to the attic, where she hung herself. Her old dorm room on the second floor, 200A. Witnesses say she's always wearing a blue nightgown. That's crazy. I kind of want to go with my little ghost box. Is that okay? Is that disrespectful if I go with my little ghost box to this hall and be like, "Hey, Kathy, hey, Queen, you okay? I'll be your friend. Don't worry." Well, I don't want to be her friend. No offense to Kathy, but I don't feel like befriending a ghost is really going to be my thing. I'm not into that. Students still subject to strange experiences. Many report the faucets in the bathroom and kitchen randomly turn on. TV sets and radios might switch on and off on their own. When their radios are turned on, it's always tuned to an oldie station, usually playing music from the 1950s. See, yeah, no. I no. I No, 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 none of that. See, that's like the phone thing, the technology thing that I was just talking about with like my phone turning on, my watch, like stopwatch starting. I don't play about that. If a ghost wants to exist in the same like room as me, whatever, but like keep to yourself, please. Hey, I don't need to know you're here. I don't need to know that. Um, that's crazy. Maybe I should go explore that. Ghost hunting trip. Hey. I don't know. That kind of scares me a little bit. I don't know. I don't even know where this hall is, so I'd have to go find it. But anyways, on that note, I think that's gonna be it. That was kind of scary. Not scary. It's sad. Well, now I feel like if I turn off the camera, my ghost is gonna attack me. Ugh, my friend has a ghost in her room too. I think we're gonna stage her room within the next week. Anyways, I think that's enough about that. I think I've been talking for long enough. But thank you guys for joining me. Um I'm so excited about this first episode. I hope you guys like it. And there's a lot more to come. I have some other ideas for things I want to talk about. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get some lunch and edit this. But yeah, stay away from ghosts, sage your house, and travel more. I hope that's what we take away from this. Anyways, love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.